Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The unmanifested state of material nature, pradhana, is being explained. The Lord says that when the unmanifested material nature is agitated by the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it begins to manifest itself in different ways. Before this agitation, it remains in the neutral state, without interaction by the three modes of material nature. In other words, material nature cannot produce any variety of manifestations without the contact of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is very nicely explained in Bhagavad Gita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of the products of material nature. Without his contact, material nature cannot produce anything. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita also, a very suitable example is given in this connection. Although the nipples on a goat's neck appear to be breast nipples, they do not give milk. Similarly, material nature appears to the material scientist to act and react in a wonderful manner. But in reality, it cannot act without the agitator, time, who is the representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When time agitates the neutral state of material nature begins to produce varieties of manifestations. Ultimately, it is said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of creation. As a woman cannot produce children unless impregnated by a man, material nature cannot produce or manifest anything unless it is impregnated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of the time factor. So in this verse, Lord Kapila is describing or is talking about the time factor, and he's saying how time factor is actually no one other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And he's addressing this verse to his mother, and he calls his mother by the name Manavi. So Manavi, because Devahuti is the daughter of Manu, and so he is Manavi. We are all, this human population is called Manava or Manushya. This word Manushya or Manava, it actually comes from Manu, because we are all descendants of Manu. And we also know the Manu Samhita, which is coming from Manu, which is the law book, which has certain rules and codes written how the Manushya Lokash must conduct themselves. So she is a daughter of Manu, so Manavi. That's how Lord Kapila is addressing her mother, my dear mother, O daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. The time factor, as I have explained, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom the creation begins as a result of the agitation of the neutral, unmanifested nature. So the time is another manifestation, another feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the beginning of creation happened when the Lord glanced over the Mahat, that is the Pradhana, that is what we have been discussing in the last few classes, how before anything that existed, it was just the Mahat, that is the Pradhana that existed, or the sum total of all the 24 elements as a lump. There was no variety, that is the Pradhana. And when the Lord glances, at that time, the Prakriti comes out of it. All the different forms of elements, they come out of it. And this glance, when the Lord glances, that is when the creation begins, and that's when the time begins. So that time factor, that glance, the glance of the Lord, and the Mahat being agitated by the three modes of material nature, and the creation starting is when the time starts. This is all that is happening together. And the cause is the glance of the Lord. The cause is the Lord. Sa aikshata. Aikshata means the Lord glanced. Sa, the Lord glanced on the material, the unmanifested nature. And then by that glancing, what happened? Sa ashrijataha. Ashrijata. Sa imal lokan ashrijataha. Means that all these imal lokans, these different planets, came into existence. So the real existence is because of the glance of the Lord, and not as material scientists think because of this material nature. The material nature came into existence because the Lord glanced. So the material nature is a secondary cause for all that we see around us, for all the creations that we see in existence. It is all coming from the material nature, but material nature itself was caused due to the glance of the Lord. So this is what is being explained here in this verse. The material scientists think that there is no Lord, there is no God. The cause is only this material nature. And this fallacy of the understanding of the material scientists, or generally anyone who has no understanding that the creation is because of the Lord, this fallacy, this defect is explained. Prabhupada is quoting here in this purport. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, a very suitable example is given in this connection. That means thinking that material nature is the primeval cause, the material nature is the real cause and not the glance of the Lord. So, how is that explained? The logic is, although the nipples on the goat's neck appear to be breast nipples, they do not give milk. So this is called the Ajagala Stana Nyaya. Ajagala Stana Nyaya. Nyaya means the logic of Ajagala Stana. Aja means the goat, Gala means the neck, and Stana means the nipples. So the goat, if you have observed closely a goat, a real desi goat, it has nipples in two places. One nipple is the regular place where there is milk, the milk bag. But the one which is more visible, it has two more nipples which are hanging from its neck. It resembles like a nipple. And these nipples which are hanging from the neck actually cannot give milk. They are just there for, somehow it has, the goat is created like that. They are not milk nipples. So if anyone who sees a goat thinks, oh, there are nipples on the neck of the goat, there will be milk from there. Will there be milk from the nipples of the goat's neck? No. That from those nipples you cannot get milk. In the same way, from this material nature, life cannot come. Creation cannot come into existence just by the material nature. So material nature is being compared to like the nipples on the goat's neck, in which there is no milk. So that is what the example is mentioned here. Material nature appears to the material scientist to act and react in the wonderful manner, but in reality it cannot act without the agitator, time. So I will read out those verses which Prabhupada is referring here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jagata karana nahe prakriti jada rupa. Jagata karana nahe prakriti jada rupa. The real karana of the jagat, this existence, is not prakriti. Why? Because prakriti is jada rupa. Jada rupa means it's just material. It has no life. So what is the karan? Shakti sancharya tare Krishna kare kripa. Shakti sancharya, like the material nature, has been impregnated. Why? Because of the glance of the Lord, and the entire power which is there in the material nature to create is coming because the Lord has glanced and Lord has impregnated it. Lord has given the strength, or Lord has given its potency. So Shakti Sanchariya Tare Krishna Kare Kripa. That Lord's glance, Sa Aikshata, is the Krishna Kripa. So the explanation, the example, another example which is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita is just like a lump of iron or an iron rod. An iron rod has no potency to do anything. But that iron rod, if it is in touch with fire, then the iron rod becomes fire. And if the iron rod, which is red hot like the fire, if it goes and touches anything, it has the potency to burn that. It has the potency to act. But on its own, iron rod, without it being red hot, cannot act. So that red hot, that fire is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is because of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's glance that creation comes into existence. Ataiva Krishna Moola Jagata Karana. Ataiva Krishna. That is why Krishna is the Moola Jagata Karana. He is a real cause for the Jagat. Prakriti Karana, and those who think that Prakriti is the Karana, Yaiche Ajagalastana. So this is Ateva Krishna Moola Jagata Karana. Prakriti Karana, those Yaiche, it's like Ajagalastana. It's like the logic of the nipples on the neck of the goat. So just like Krishna is the cause, the only cause for creation, nothing else is actually the cause. Neither Brahma nor this Prakriti nor anyone. They are all secondary causes, and all these secondary causes have no meaning absolutely. They are useless unless the Lord is there. In the same way it is said that if you want to advance in life, or if you want to spiritually elevate yourself, if you want to know who God is, then the only process is Bhakti Yoga. There is no other process. All other process will not give you the desired result in life, the desired fruit that we are all actually seeking for in life. Bhakti Vinu Kono Sadhana Dite Nare Phala. Bhakti Vinu, without bhakti, you may have so many other different processes. Kono sadhana, no other process, dite nare phala, no other process will give any result. Sab phala de, and you may want so many things, you may not even material results, sometimes we seek after. So sab phala de, bhakti swatantra prabala. Bhakti is so powerful, and this bhakti process independently is so powerful that you don't need the help of anyone else. Just by bhakti, you can get all kinds of benediction, all types of fruits, all kinds of desires can be satisfied. Of course, bhakti is not meant to satisfy our material desires, but even material desires can be given by bhakti. So, ajagalastana nyaya anya sadhana. So all other sadhana or all other methods for achieving something in life, it is like ajagalastana. It is actually useless because it has got no meaning. It is only temporary. It will end with the end of this body. That's all. So ajagalastana nyaya anya sadhana. All other sadhana is like ajagalastana. Ateva hari bhaje buddhimana jana. Ateva hari bhaje buddhimana jana. So those who are buddhiman, those who are intelligent, they take to only this process of bhakti yoga, which is hari bhajana. So this is a very nice comparison made in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that just like Krishna is the only cause of creation and everything is coming from Krishna, similarly anything that we want to achieve in this material world, even if they are material desires, we should just take to the process of bhakti, No other process will actually satisfy us. They are all temporary and they actually produce no result. Akamaha sarva kamo va moksha kamo daradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. We should only take to this process of bhakti yoga. So here, further, the time factor is being explained. We have been talking about this time from this particular point about the time, how time is the manifestation of Krishna. And here also in this verse, it is explained that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the time factor. Now, if you go and ask anyone in this world, what is it that you value most? You'll get different answers. Different people value different things in life. Somebody will say, you can think about it, this material, any ordinary person you ask, they will say, I value this, I value that, I value relationships. Some people will say, value for me in life is to get a good position. Some people will say, a car or an apartment, or so many different things people value in life. But one common thing that everyone values in life is money. Right? Nobody will deny that. But actually, as the famous saying goes, time is money. So, more than money, what is valuable is time, or time is equally valuable than money. That's why time is money. So if time is money, you can just imagine how much money we have lost already, and how much money we are losing every moment, because time is getting lost, and time is money, and money is very valuable. However, our scriptures tell us that time is not just money, time is even more valuable than money. Because money, once lost, can be regained. You can earn it again. But time once lost, you cannot regain it again. So just think how much money we are losing every moment, every second. That is why Chanakya Pandit says that Ayushah shana eko api na labhya swarna kotibhihi. Ayushah means in this life, Ayusha means in this life, shana eko api. Api means even, shana eko. Shana means moment, eko means one. Even one moment of Ayusha, even one moment of life that is going by every moment that has been spent, na labhya swarna kotibhihi, you cannot get it back even if you're ready to pay crores of gold coins. And so he says, nacha nirarthakam nitihi, sache nirarthakam niti. Nirarthakam. Arthakam means, artha means with some use if you spend your time. But nirarthakam means without proper use, if you're not using your time properly, kacha hanis tato adhika. Kacha hanis. Hanis means loss. Adhika. What greater loss can be there than time not spent properly? Because every moment of life, every moment of time that is actually getting spent is getting lost, never to come back again. Now it's 9 a.m. this date. Can this date, 9 a.m., once gone, can it come back? It can never come back. You may say, I am ready to pay any amount of money. Can you please bring it back? No, it can never come back. It has gone. It has gone forever, never to come back, no matter what you try. So all of us have some fixed time, have this fixed, in this life. You may say that, I am 40 years old. Can you make me 39 years old? I am ready to pay whatever you want. Just 1 year, can you reduce of mine? No, sir. Forget about 1 year. Even a moment in life cannot be reduced. So that is the value of time. So imagine something, even a moment you cannot get back, even if you're ready to pay millions of rupees. No, it's not possible. That's why it's saying, na labhya swarna koti bhi. So if something that cannot be gotten back by paying millions of rupees, you can imagine how valuable it is. So every moment that we are spending, we must be spending it very, very cautiously. If you have some valuables, say some jewelry, or say a lot of cash or money, where will you keep it? You will keep it inside the bank, right? Because you know that this is very valuable. But even though it is very valuable, if you lose it also, you use it and then you lose it, you can still replenish that. You can still earn that. But the time cannot be earned. Once gone, it's gone forever. It is so valuable. That is why Rupa Goswami has said that every devotee must be very, very cautious in spending his time. Prabhupada writes in one lecture, we must weigh our time. We must measure our time. He uses these two words. Just like you measure money, you weigh, you count money, and so carefully you count money, every small amount of money also you count, and you know how you have to use it, you use it carefully. Are we counting how many moments we are losing every moment? And it cannot be gotten back even if you're ready to pay any amount of time. So that's why Prabhupada is saying we must measure our time and see that I'm using it in the service of Krishna. I should not be uselessly spending my time. Avyartha kalatvam. Kalatvam is time. Avyartha. Vyartha means usefully. Avyartha means without any use, I've spent my time. That is what a devotee should be thinking. So, there is another verse which talks about this. Uttishta jagrata prapya varan nibodhat. Uttishta. Uttishta means get up. Jagrata, wake up. What kind of wake up? Every day morning we wake up. It is not that kind of waking up. It is waking up to spiritual knowledge, to self-realization. So Uttishta, Jagrata. Why? This is spiritual awakening that it is calling for. Because Prapya Varan. Prapya, you have obtained Varan, a very special boon in this human, and that the special boon is this human form of life. Nibodhat. Nibodhat means just try to understand this, that you have received a very, very special boon, this human form of life. Because there is only in this human form of life that you have an opportunity to escape the cycle of birth and death. And Prahlad Maharaj is also saying, Tadapi adhruvam arthadam. These two words are very important. This human form of life is adhruvam. It is very temporary. The time is very short in this human form of life. We may think we are living, we have a big, we have 80 years, 100 years, but this 80, 100 years will pass away in just no time. Already we have spent 50% of our life or whatever percentage we have spent, and the balance will get spent very quickly. Not a moment we can add, not a moment we can subtract, no matter what. So this human form of life is very short, but all this very short, arthadam, it has got a lot of meaning. You can get a permanent benefit out of this temporary material life, temporary human life. So every moment must be spent very, very cautiously, very effectively. Prabhupada was once talking to a businessman. He gave an example. So to one businessman, to Mr. Mota, he was talking, and Prabhupada told him. Prabhupada said, according to Chanakya Pandit, if you spend crores of rupees at the time of death, you still cannot get one moment more to live. Prabhupada then said, every moment is worth crores of rupees. The time that is spent in Krishna consciousness is profit, and the time that is not spent in Krishna consciousness is loss. And then Prabhupada said, make a balance sheet and see the profit and loss. Then you will use all your time in Krishna consciousness. So this time, all our time being spent in Krishna consciousness, in Bhakti Yoga, is what is a message of Bhagavatam, is what is a message of Gita, and this is what we should be doing in our life. We have a wonderful opportunity to be engaged full time in Krishna's service. So every moment that we have, that we get, we should see that we are using it effectively. I will just end with this one. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is talking about how we should utilize our time, who should utilize our time, and in what way. Tasmat, this is Shukdev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj, Tasmat. So he has given him some instructions, and then finally after that he is concluding his statement in this chapter. Tasmat. So he said, Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan. Sarvatmana means every one of us, without exception. Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan, Harehe Sarvatra Sarvada. He says three things: Sarvatmana, Sarvatra, and Sarvada. Sarvatmana means every human being. Sarvatra, what he should do, Sarvatra means everywhere. What he should do, that will come in the second part of the verse. Sarvatra means everywhere. And Sarvada means always, at all time. What should we be doing? Shrotavya, Kirtitavyascha, Smartavyo, Bhagavan Nrinam. Nrinam means a human being. Bhagavan, he should be hearing, chanting, and Smartavya, remembering about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Every soul, everywhere, at all time. This is the duty. So we have a very wonderful opportunity to utilize our time very effectively. Prabhupada has given us so many wonderful methods: chanting Hare Krishna, taking Krishna Prasadam, doing service for Krishna, wonderful deity worship, and preaching, so many things. So devotees must always see to it that they are spending their time usefully in Krishna's service so that Maya doesn't enter. And this is the way, by spending our time. We may not be spending our time with in a very high quality of Krishna's service, but by spending all our time in Krishna's service, slowly our consciousness will improve, and finally we'll go back to the spiritual world at the end of this life. This is the goal of life. So I'll end here. Rantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand.